Hello everybody, it's GVRP here, back again with a new video on this channel. So in today's video, I am actually going to be reviewing a secret version of Greenville, I guess you could say, or kind of like the old Greenville revamp. So this is basically a version of the Greenville revamp that was kind of used for testing and stuff like that, and this is kind of an idea of what the Greenville revamp might have looked like in the past. Also, NZ is here with me today. I don't know if he's actually going to stay in the game or not, but yeah. Anyways, let's go and review some of the vehicles in the dealership here. So there are quite a lot of things that are actually different in this video, which I will get into as much of them as possible. But yeah, and also yes, I do have like $99 billion, which is absolutely insane. But yeah, and also I do just want to give a massive shout out to Hunter for giving me access to this version of the game. Thank you so much, because this is very cool. So, as you can see here, in the dealership, it actually does look slightly different, to be honest. It looks similar, but it does look a bit different. As you can see, it kind of has a view on top of the dealership for the background. And also, the filters button doesn't work, and all the cars are kind of like, the icon things are kind of like a little bit bigger and stuff like that. It's a bit different, but not too different. But as you can see here, we have quite a lot of cars. Like, we have the Carrera GT, we have the modded version of the Prius. We have loads of like trucks, like semi-trucks and stuff, but with these semi-trucks, I did find that a lot of them just spawned under the ground, so I don't know if I'm actually going to really be able to review them today, but who knows. We do also have like a Jeep limo here, or I'm pretty sure it's like a Hummer. I don't know, it's one of those. Yeah, but it's pretty cool. They have a lot of other cars too, but I have bought all the ones already that I'm going to be reviewing today. So yeah, let's get straight into it. ND is just doing a little dance there. So yeah, I'll just let him be. But yeah, so yeah, as you can see, we have a lot of cars here, including the R34, which a lot of people, very much like. I'm not a big fan of the R34 anymore, but it's still a pretty decent car. And it's honestly really cool. Now, this car actually has two sort of Easter eggs in it. So the first one is when you actually start up the car, which I will try and show off here. So sometimes it takes a little bit to actually, oh, there it is. So as you can see, as you can hear, they say some stuff in like Japanese, which is pretty cool. And if you press G, then you get the same Easter egg as the R32. Let's do a little bit of a rev test. So pretty nice. Horn test. The horn is a lot different. It's more like the GV3 horns. Keep in mind though, they are using like a test chassis, I guess you could call it. So it's not the actual car chassis, I guess, that they use for GV4 from my knowledge. So that's why it all kind of looks a bit like GV3 in a way. But yeah, there are a lot of cool features though. So first of all, the indicators sound different when you use them. I honestly don't mind the sound, it's not that bad. And then also, as you can see, when I go fast and then hold down brakes, the brake discs actually go red and the brakes actually squeal, which I honestly quite like that feature. It's actually really realistic in my opinion, especially when you go going and slamming on the brakes. And I honestly feel like Greenville should add that feature back into the game, because when it comes to, if you have like a slow, like that smooth braking on, then maybe it shouldn't happen with that squealing. But if you have fast braking, then I'd say that they should add it in, because that would honestly be really cool. So yeah, and it's also really realistic, way more realistic too than it currently is, and I honestly really enjoy it. So yeah, that's pretty much the R34. Nothing too much really. It's basically just the regular car, but with a R34 body on it. So yeah, nothing too major there. Then we also have a Western Motors Kaiju, but this is like a sort of like modded out version of it, I guess. So this is kind of like the Bluezilla edition, I guess you could say. So pretty cool. And I think, I don't know where NZ went. I think he just disappeared. But yeah, anyways, this is like it's for some reason it's rolling, so let me actually put it in park. But yeah, this is like a Bluezilla kind of trim of the Kaiju, and it goes extremely fast. As you guys can see as well, it looks really cool. So yeah, let me get in this thing and test out the startup. It doesn't really have a startup actually, so yeah, never mind. But here's the revving test. As you can see, it is extreme. It sounds pretty aggressive. So yeah, but anyways, if we actually put this thing in drive, as you can see, it almost sounds like gunshots going off when this thing spits flames. Very nice. And it goes extremely fast. I'm not gonna count the 0 to 60 and stuff like that, but if I do this, it just goes. It's like a Tesla Roadster almost. But it controls much more better in my opinion. It feels much more better when it comes to handling and stuff. And as you can see, it goes to 272. This thing is extremely fast as well. Like look how fast it just goes up. And it gets to top speed, like 270 miles per hour in almost no time at all. So it goes extremely, extremely fast. So yeah, you guys kind of get the whole gist of this thing. It's extremely fast and overall an extremely cool car to drive around in. This thing probably will never come out, as I'm pretty sure it is an admin slot car. But yeah. Also, if you guys didn't hear there, those are actually some different crashing sounds. And if I'm going to be honest, I actually think they're a lot more better and realistic, because the crashing sounds also like change and stuff like as well. It's not just the same sound every single time you crash, like how I'm pretty sure it is in GV4. So honestly, pretty cool and realistic. Also, I do just want to apologize if it does become nighttime. I can't change the time due to the fact that this isn't my server. But yeah. Anyways, now we're going to be moving on to the Western Motors Proto-Gen. So I actually don't know if this thing came out into GV4, but as you can see, this is what it looks like. It looks decent. It kind of looks like the Kaiju and the Circle in a way, but yeah. It's not the best car. It's more of just a casual Western Motors car, but yeah. That's just the lights on it. It's got some pretty decent lighting, honestly. It's not as good as the lighting in today's cars, obviously, but still not too bad at all. But yeah, it only goes like 133 miles per hour as well, so not too fast at all. So now let's move on to the Fast and Furious, not Supra, Prius, which is what I like to call it, because it actually looks like it has the same like wrap on it as the Supra did in Fast and Furious. So yeah, let's just drive this thing. It almost feels like this thing is like VTEC or something, I don't know, because it starts off really slow and then it just goes. Even though the top speed is only like 110 miles per, only 104 miles per hour. So it's not fast, very fast at all. But it's still a really funny car to just drive around in. And I honestly hope that they do add like this, like Prius into the game as a limited time car, hopefully. Because it honestly looks very funny. And yeah, even though it's not that fast at all, but still, it's still quite funny. So yeah. And now we have the 2019 Truckler, which, for those of you who don't know, was actually in an OG VRP session once before. So some of you guys may have even seen this thing in-game before. But yeah, as you can see, this is what it looks like. I'm pretty sure this is the exact same model, pretty much, that they used for the OG VRP one. But yeah, it's basically just a regular Tesla, except it's a Truckler instead. They basically just swapped out the body to have like a truck bed on it. And honestly, it looks really cool. I don't know if they'll ever add this thing, and if they do, it will most likely be a limited car, I'd say. But it's still a pretty cool car to drive around in. It doesn't have that bad handling. It's honestly pretty decent. And yeah, overall, a really cool car to drive around in. For those of you wondering if it has a seat in the back, for this one, at least, it does not. I'm pretty sure the one that was in OGVRP had a seat, like, customly built into it. So yeah. So now if we despawn that, now we have our first semi-truck. Now, I'm praying that this thing will actually spawn on the ground. Alright, so I've tried multiple times now, and this thing just will not spawn on the ground, sadly. So unfortunately, I won't be able to drive this thing, but I can guarantee that we will be able to drive the semi-truck, so the Tesla semi-truck, so yeah. So now we have the Carrera GT. Now, even though this thing has already came out into GV4 as of the last update, this thing is actually slightly different. So some different things about this car is that 1, on this version, the wing doesn't actually lift up. 2, it doesn't have any engine textures. And 3, it also sounds and performs different. So this one actually does go faster than the current one that's in the game. So let's just test this out right now. It's honestly pretty cool. It's basically the same one that we have. The one that we have in game now is obviously better with all the new textured engines and like the pop-up wing and stuff. But this one also, in my opinion, sounds really cool. So let's just drive this thing. So as you can see, it does go up to a really fast speed. And if I can get it to top speed without it spinning out, then yeah. This thing does like spin out very easy due to it having no traction control. Luckily in GV4, like in the current one at least, they have made it so it doesn't spin out as easy. So yeah. But anyways, let's try and get this thing to the top speed without crashing it or anything. So as you can see, it goes 214 miles per hour max speed, and the current one that's in the game goes about 204. So this thing actually does go slightly faster than the current one that we have. But yeah, nothing too much different, to be honest. It is pretty cool, but yeah. And now we have this car here. It's called the 2022 Giga. I honestly don't know what this car is called in real life. I don't think many people would. But yeah, all I can say is that the front of it kind of looks like a Nissan Juke. But yeah. Anyways, let's give this thing a little bit of a drive around here. If anyone does know what this car is actually called in real life, please let me know, because I would very much like to know, because this car is very odd, to be completely honest. It's not like the fastest car, to be honest. it looks kind of, it almost looks like an SUV in a way, like a more sporty SUV. I don't really know how to explain it. It's a bit more of a bulky car, but it only goes 132 miles per hour. But yeah, that's the Giga Chad car. And now we have the 2021 Celestial Semi, or the 2021 Tesla Semi Truck. So this thing right here is an absolute beast. If it doesn't roll, please don't roll off. Okay. Anyways, yeah, this thing is. Anyways, as I was saying, this thing is an absolute beast. As you can see, it is a semi-truck in Greenville. Absolutely crazy, I know, right? So, unfortunately, with this thing, you cannot attach any trailers to it, from my knowledge. But except, it's still a semi-truck in Greenville, so that's still cool, at least. It's not too detailed, to be honest. And I reckon if they did add it into, like, into the current version of Greenville, they would probably do quite a lot of upgrades to it. So, yeah. But anyways, let's get into this thing and test out the startup. It actually has no startup, so that's a bit surprising. But yeah, anyways, let's give it a little bit of a driving test here. When I first drove this thing, I was like, it was so weird to me, literally driving a semi-truck in Greenville. It honestly feels so weird, like, having access, I guess, to be able to drive these things. It's quite weird, but yeah, as you can see, this thing is extremely slow. It only goes 69 miles per hour. I don't know if they did that on purpose or what, but this thing is awfully slow. But I mean, it is a truck, so what do you expect? It's not going to go that fast. But yeah, it accelerates really quick though. It brakes pretty slowly, but as you can see with the acceleration, it actually does go pretty decently quick for a truck as well. So yeah, tell me what you guys think about this thing. But yeah, anyways, let's move straight on to the next vehicle. So now we have a Hummer H3 party limo. So this thing is basically just a limousine. I'm pretty sure not Southwest Florida, I'm pretty sure Pembroke Pines has this exact same limo, but just their one has an interior and this one doesn't. But this one is honestly still pretty cool. Let's get into the car. Don't know why the speed thing is glitched. Okay, there we go. But yeah, as you can see, it looks pretty cool. It has some pretty cool, like, white lights on the side here. Overall, I wouldn't say it's as cool as Pembroke's one, but it's definitely not bad. They might even end up adding this thing maybe in the next couple of updates due to Greenville adding their first lot of limos. So hopefully they do add this thing in the future, because it is honestly pretty cool and it looks pretty nice as well. But yeah, nothing too like interesting about it really. It basically goes the same speed as majority of other limos in Greenville currently as well. So yeah, nothing too surprising, but yeah. Now we have the Western Motors Kaiju XR. So I'm pretty sure this thing actually is in the current version of Greenville, except it's no longer on sale. But I'm going to be reviewing it anyways, as yeah, I just want to drive around this thing, to be completely honest. But yeah, it honestly looks pretty nice. It looks really nice actually. As you can see, it doesn't really have a startup, but yeah, still pretty nice. It's got some pretty nice headlights and taillights too. Obviously, if they were added into today's Greenville, they would probably have some updates to it. Now let's just accelerate this thing. As you can see, it's going pretty quick over here. We've hit 170, 190, 200. So it gets about 206 max speed. So honestly, it's extremely fast, especially for a Western Motors car. So pretty cool. And overall, I wish this thing was still in the game. It's very, very cool. Alright guys, so now I am reviewing the 2019 Western Motors Shark. So this thing is pretty similar to all the other Western Motors cars that I've reviewed so far. It's just a little bit more or less aggressive, I guess. It doesn't go that fast. It spits flames and stuff though. It's decent, but I don't know if I would actually really want this thing to be in the game, to be honest. Since there's so many cars that already look like this. So yeah. Except it does actually go 156 miles per hour, which is actually way faster than I thought it would go, especially for a car like this, so that's actually pretty cool. So now I'm reviewing the Western Motors Puro. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but yeah, this thing honestly looks very similar to the Kaiju and the Circle as well. So yeah, they all look similar, very similar to each other, but this one looks actually pretty cool and aggressive. I doubt this thing will ever come into the game, as well as I think this thing is also like a slot car or something like that. But it does sound pretty cool, and it also goes like really fast if I don't spin it out. But yeah, as I was saying, this thing actually does go a pretty decent speed, and I'm crashing and I can't drive. But yeah, this thing is pretty cool. It doesn't have the best handling from what I'm seeing right here. It's honestly pretty hard to handle, because yeah, I keep on spinning this thing out whenever I make a little like tight turn. So it's not the best when it comes to handling, but it does go 227 miles per hour, so it is very, very fast. And honestly, I wish this thing came out into the game because it does look cool, but I doubt it ever will. Now I'm moving on to the 2077 Celestial Super Cybertruck. So I'm assuming that this is like the 2077 is like a cyberpunk reference, but yeah, honestly, it looks really cool, but you guys will probably be very disappointed by the performance of this car. As you can see though, when I do turn on the lights, it is extremely bright. Also, it almost sounds like it has an engine in it, even though I don't think it does. But yeah, it sounds like it would go extremely fast. But as you guys are about to see here, it doesn't go very fast for what you would think it would go. It only goes 135 miles per hour, which I'm pretty sure is literally slower than the one that's in the game right now. And apparently this is a super Cybertruck, so I don't really know. But it does look really cool though, you can't deny that. But yeah, it's honestly pretty cool. I just wish it performed a lot better. Now we have the Western Motors Panther T, which I'm pretty sure is actually in the game. But yeah, I just want to compare it to the one that is in the game, I guess. So again, this thing almost looks like a Holden, like those Holden Utes, I guess. So it actually looks pretty cool. I don't think I would get this thing I don't think I would actually get this thing personally, but it's definitely not bad. It's got, and the top speed on it is about 134 miles per hour, so not bad at all. And here is another Western Motors Kaiju. This is another blue Zilla trim, but instead this is the State Patrol version of it. And this thing looks aggressive, dude. It basically performs the same as the other one, except it's basically just a different trim. If this thing did come out in the game, this thing would be way too overpowered. You would literally be able to catch up to anyone within seconds in this thing. And now guys, I'm moving on to the stock Western Motors Circle. So this is basically the same as it's basically the old Western Motors Circle, I guess. So this is like the old model, I guess, that they used. I don't think this thing is on sale anymore though, but yeah, still pretty cool. If I get inside of it here, I don't even know if it will let me inside of it. Okay, no, I actually can. So yeah, it's basically just the old version of the Circle, so nothing too insane here. As you can see, the model does look quite outdated, as well as all the lighting and stuff like that. It's not terrible, but this thing definitely would not come back to the game today. But yeah, it doesn't perform the greatest either. I mean, it performs decently, but yeah, it's not too insane. Actually, it does. Okay, it goes like 156. That's not too bad, but it's nothing insane though when it comes to the acceleration and stuff like that. And now guys, for the last vehicle, we are reviewing the 2005 Chrysler Me 412 or ME 412. I don't really know how you say it, but yeah, this thing's insane. I'm not a big Chrysler fan, but this thing just looks bizarre. As you can see, it has some cheese grater lights at the back. Pretty nice. And it sounds very, very insane. Sorry if you guys struggle to hear my voice in this thing, but this thing is extremely loud. But it looks insane. It doesn't look good at all in my opinion, but it is pretty insane. Especially when it comes to performance as well. It goes very, very, very fast. 269 miles per hour in this thing. This is just insane. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about it. It's just a bit of an insane vehicle with some nice cheese grater lights. So now guys, I'm going to be reviewing some things that they or at least two things that they moved and didn't even land up adding to the game. See, these are actually some buildings, so I only landed up finding two of them, but yeah, there probably are some other stuff that I didn't notice too. But yes, first of all, they are using the old McDonald's building in this version, but yeah, that wasn't really one of the things that I was going to cover, but still pretty cool. It's basically just the GV3 model. But then we also have this restaurant right here, which actually never landed up coming out into the game, and I don't think this thing will actually ever come out, as I'm pretty sure they did replace this thing with Hunties, as this is kind of where Hunties would usually be from my knowledge. The restaurant doesn't actually have a name, but yeah, it's not actually that bad, to be honest. I think if they did a little update in the interior, this thing could honestly probably be added into today's Greenville, but they would probably have to find a new location for it. But as you can see, it's basically just a normal kind of restaurant. It honestly looks pretty cool. But yeah, they never landed up adding this into the final game for some reason. I don't exactly know why. Maybe they just had other plans and they just decided to scrap this building entirely. But yeah, nothing too insane here. It's just a different building. They do have some fries and burgers and stuff, which I don't think I can actually grab, sadly. They also have this thing, which I don't think you can actually use. It's a bit glitchy on the screen. It did actually have a drive-through, which is pretty cool. It almost looks like a bank on this side. It's a bit weird, but yeah. Overall though, I don't think they're gonna add this thing back, but they might if they did do like a slight interior change, I guess you could say, inside of this building. Also guys, another thing that I do want to point out is that the grass was actually like 3D, like that 3D sort of more realistic grass. I'm honestly not a big fan of this due to the fact that it kind of struggles to render out, and also it just like seems like it's in random positions and stuff. So it doesn't look that good at all, and I'm pretty sure that's why they didn't end up adding it into the game. It's still pretty cool though seeing what Greenville could look like with this type of grass, but I am honestly glad that they never added this into the game, as I just prefer the flat grass a lot better than this type of grass. So yeah. But yeah, so the next thing I'm going to be moving on to here is Rapid Wash. So as you guys can see, Rapid Wash was actually in a totally different place. So Rapid Wash was actually placed in the same location that 6 houses is now in. So originally, from my knowledge, Rapid Wash was actually going to be placed in this location, which is honestly pretty weird in my opinion. It's really weird seeing Rapid Wash in this area. It's almost like something isn't right. But yeah, I'm pretty glad they didn't put it in this location, because instead they replaced it with 6 houses. So now you have a lot more housing areas and stuff like that. But yeah, that's where Rapid Wash was pretty much going to be, I'm pretty sure. And also another fun fact is that the lake actually was not here. So before the lake was in the game, it was basically just flat grass with some houses. This version doesn't actually have any homes at all. But yeah, there would have just been houses through there, and that would have pretty much been it. Also, the Chinese restaurant as well had an interior in this version. I don't know why they didn't add an interior into the current one in the game. It's a bit weird to me why they did that, but yeah, they should have definitely added the interior. Honestly, even though the interior wasn't the best, I feel like it's better than having no interior at all. And I mean, they could have at least maybe just revamped the interior, but yeah. I guess that's just up to them though. So yeah, but honestly still pretty cool seeing this building that like actually have an interior. I do hope in the near future though they do add one, because honestly it would be really cool to see this building with one, because then you could actually do RPs and it wouldn't just be taking up space for no reason. Also, as you can see, like the subway sign is a little bit different there. So yeah, that's another thing to point out. But yeah, that's overall pretty much it, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's a bit different, and I know a lot of you guys probably weren't expecting this video to come out. But yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy it. I personally really enjoyed making this video, checking out some of the, like, you know, unreleased cars and, like, some of the old cars. And also just checking out the map and how it could have looked. It honestly doesn't look that much different, but there are some minor things that have been changed and stuff like that. So yeah, but hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. And yeah, if you did enjoy it, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And yeah, see you later and goodbye.